Yes, okay. You posted the notice of the meeting in all the places. Okay, approval of the meeting minutes. Okay, good. The meeting minutes we're going to review and have back next week. Committee reports. John Baker, ARB.
ARB's doing fine. We're averaging about 7 to 8 applications in every 2-week review cycle. Bulk of them are for paint and people that are having to trim trees and redo landscape the church.
Good. Do we have the merger of the 2 paint books now?
That's not quite done yet, but we are gonna, now that we've got the reformulated committee and not short-staffed, that's something we want to wrap up here shortly.
Good. You're fully staffed?
Yes, sir.
Good, thank you, John. And thanks for your input earlier. Mr. Bauer, compliance.
Yes.
So much, sir.
2 things. One is we've communicated with you in the last 3 or 4 weeks on several occasions, trying to give you an idea how we were going to handle the statute change. What I would like the board to do is to take a look at the inspection results that I sent you yesterday morning and move to approve those. And the next step then is to officially invite those 8, I think it is, homeowners to a compliance committee hearing.
I make a motion that we approve the inspection report as presented by Dave Bauer and the compliance committee yesterday in its entirety.
I second.
Yeah. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
The good news, as I mentioned, this is a one-off thing. We've kind of got, with Jennifer's assistance and some give and take back and forth, we got a clear approach on how we head in the future. And we are then incorporating that with the work that we are doing with the IGIS people. And we had a very productive meeting on Monday night where we went through a lot of the documents, like the notices that have to be sent and the wording of those and so forth. We still have a little work to do, in that I think it's advantageous that, especially in the medium to long term, that we have responsibilities listed on the sheet of paper, such that if we have a committee member that changes or the manager changes or something like that, they don't always start from scratch, you know, and kind of stumble and fall a couple of months until we kind of get things on track. I think that's the next thing that we will be working on. In fact, we even talked about that to a certain degree on Monday. Our next meeting will be on December 1st, and we'll continue that discussion.
Good. So we need to make a motion to approve the recommendations that came between Dave and Jennifer, the procedures.
I don't think you do, but I mean.
Good, okay. And then, David, you're going to take a chunk of the newsletter to publish.
Well, right now, what I have given some things to Andy to include in the newsletter, okay? And it was more general when it came to the statute changes and the changes that may be required to do the IGIS transfer, okay? What I'd like to do is to get another meeting under our belt, make certain that we're clear on how this interacts with the community, and then advise them what they will see differently. And I don't think we will be ready to do that by this newsletter. So I'd rather have space the next one.
The next one, okay. Got it. Super. Anybody here from social? Yeah, thank you. I didn't see you back there, sorry.
I think they are going to be for us.
Hi.
Hi. I wasn't prepared.
Okay, well, let me stall for a second while you make up your mind.
We have a pie social plan for Thanksgiving, thank our neighbors. We estimate about $200 for that, and then we have our Christmas, the Children and Family Christmas plan for the 19th of December, and we're trying really hard to stick to our budget, which Donald gave us of $8,400 for the whole year.
Fantastic.
That's it.
What date's your pie?
The 19th.
Good. Also, in regard to the social, we're going to try something and have a concert on the ball field on Friday, December 4th. There's a band coming in called Treble Damages. They're going to play from, I think it's 7:30 till 11:30, as long as we comply with the noise ordinances. It's a great they do everything from Amy Winehouse to Otis Redding. And we're going to have the first community concert on the lawn. of the ball field on Friday. You gotta bring your own lawn chairs, bring your own beverages. We're gonna see how it works, and if it's popular and everyone likes it, we're gonna, kind of mix it up a couple times a year, weather permitting, budget permitting, and it should be fun. And, tell your neighbors, and, it should be a blast. Good, super. Building and grounds, you can take that or Jamie?
Kind of rehashed a lot of it during our budget meeting. The current year budget line items for something to improve, the committee recommended installing, I call them doggy trash cans. Yeah, doggy pots. Along the boulevard, basically at each community entrance, so folks that are walking their dogs, they get their little doggy bag, need a place to put the doggy bag after it's been filled. So we thought that was an enhancement that would be an easy thing we could get accomplished yet before year end. And to restate, anybody and everybody, love to have a full room of people in here for Buildings and Grounds Committee so we can help create the strategic plan and have a much more productive budget meeting next year on the stuff we want to approve.
How are we gonna get information on when you're gonna be meeting?
It's posted
the
on the
meeting-
sidewalk
Yeah,
sign.
posted like they always do. Buildings and Grounds typically only meets once a month as opposed to the ARB meeting.
We're gonna start sending out, as we enhance the website and the Facebook page, we're gonna start posting a lot more things on there as well. Once we have email addresses and more participation from residents providing their contact, we're gonna start bursting out some of those so we get more participation. And then at the next Building and Grounds Committee, I will be attending, and maybe, Mark, who also oversees the golf course liaison.
That'll help a lot.
We're gonna talk about, well, John was your board liaison, and frankly, we're all at capacity, Jay.
Oh,
It's
no,
not-
no, no,
you
I'm
know,
not
it's-
saying.
No, I'm not,
anything
it's
against
just
it.
that,
I think that it would be good for the people who are on the board and
Sure.
have it, and being in all the meetings and everything.
right, but frankly, we're putting in 15, 20 hours a week,
I know.
and we just don't have any more
I know.
capacity to do anymore. But it's an important committee, we have a lot going on. We also have to talk about parking, any landscaping enhancements that get needed for next year, things like that, so. At least I'm gonna attend, if we do it when Mark's available, he'll come and he can answer any golf course questions too. Yeah, good. Sure, of course.
There's not a lot of room on the sidewalk sign, so if you see B and G, that's your building and grounds notice out there.
Good. Hey, since this board came over, we also put a signboard on the Kirby Smith entrance. So the residents that, John said he never uses the Moss Park entrance. So that was based on feedback from Mr. Baker and some other people. We have 2 signboards now. It's posted in here. We will start to put some of that stuff on the Facebook page and email blast because we actually want participation, other people
Could it
agree
be
with us or
put
not.
on the, our website?
Our website really is just something, we're redoing the whole list.
Well, I understand, but we can put things out there for our lost dogs. and
It's in the
things.
calendar normally.
Lost Dog doesn't normally go out for, that usually is an email blast. Not on the website. Okay, old business, Ramona, you've got a couple of pressure cleaning. We think the sidewalk on North Shore Golf Boulevard has got too much mold and it's dirty, as well as the entrances. Everyone sees that when they come in. So we've solicited multiple proposals for pressure washing, the post, the bridge, the sidewalks, as recurring maintenance. And this is the first time we've seen this. Normally we would look at this ahead of time. Thank you.
These are the ones to not only do the sidewalks and the caps and the columns, it is the entire sidewalk from
And to
Moss
ask,
Park to Kirby Smith, plus in front of Sparrow Landing, plus the storm water concrete throughout the community.
so originally we were only gonna do from the bridge to the roundabout. Why half-ass it? So we asked for much more detailed bids. This is added to.
Is there anybody that does it on, as we're driving in Moss Park? It's always moldy out there. I don't know that that's our property.
Are you
You
talking
mean
about
between
that?
Moss Park and the wall?
Yeah, like Moss Park coming and then our traffic light and then you turn right into the neighborhood.
So from basically from like the wall to
The busted wall, yeah, that's our responsibility. I don't know about the sidewalk, I think that's county.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
the sidewalk,
okay.
but the
Good,
side
so
is
to
always.
keep this moving along, the proposal from Mallard is a tad cheaper than H&R Pro Painters. We know Mallard. I make a motion that we accept Mallard's proposal and have them go ahead and engage. Have a second?
I second the motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Well, we
resolution
can have this done by.
from Mallard,
I didn't ask.
okay. Let's- Yeah, John,
That was one of our recommendations, thank you, sir.
you're welcome, thank you. We're gonna try and get them to do a maintenance agreement too, so, we don't have to do that. Tree removal, Hot Branch, Don, you got that?
Say one more time?
Tree removal, Hot Branch, that's a dead tree.
Yeah,
Did you get the other bid?
yeah, that bid came in at $890.
What?
That's
To
$890.
do what?
To cut the 2 limbs and leave the tree.
Okay. I was gonna say, they're not taking
No,
out
they're not
that
taking the
tree.
tree out.
Hey, so when we do building and grounds, we wanna have one person volunteer and look at a specific neighborhood. And whether it's overgrown lots, whether it's houses that are in distress, or the islands or anything. And it doesn't have to be a person that lives in that community, but that's one of the recommendations that came back for building and grounds.
Yeah, we've been talking about it, and the committee, one of the committee members isn't here tonight, but we put together a PowerPoint of pictures that we've been taking, so that, and Ramona got the first couple of copies of it, so that either a handyman or a vendor, you've actually got a picture, hey, we need to clean this, we need to fix that, and we can just either append it, you know, with our monthly meetings, or do a new one each month, but one of our other committee members graciously, agreed to put those things together so that the management company will have a nice pictorial document of things that we need to do.
Is
You-
this
you see
community
that.
property or homeowners property or both?
It's,
We were focusing on community and like the signs that are moldy, need to be cleaned, and, yeah,
and anything big.
I wasn't
not
feeling,
on your turf.
I wasn't feeling threatened.
You got your deal, I got mine.
What's your address?
You can just check my phone.
And that's what, the other guy, we had like 3 or 4 people come out.
So that's what we're
It's more,
done, we
2
don't
said
need
cut
any
it down
motion.
and 2 said take it down.
So we don't need any motion, so we're done. We want to go back down.
You tabled it last month, I found it down.
All right, so what we're doing, I make a motion to have, the A&B for $890, remove the limbs off
Dead ones off
the
the
tree.
tree.
In our
Yeah.
front circle.
Good, second? Any discussion, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Good, John, you wanna cover preventive maintenance for gates, or do you want Ramona?
They're no different than the last one.
Yeah, I've been talking to several vendors, I'm trying to get more information from them, because they both gave me just one gave me a soup to nuts. They gave me just a maintenance contract. You can also get their gold plan, which is, maintenance plus, labor is included in the cost. The only thing you have to pay is for parts, and the third one is a complete soup to nuts, they cover everything. It takes an inspection of what we have to bring it up to speed, and then they will cover everything, labor, parts, everything. But I think it's gonna, we're gonna have to pay $1,500. I've talked to them about it, and I've got a verbal, but I don't have anything in writing yet. That 15, if I go the 15, say if I go $4,500, I think it's $4,500 a year for the quarterly inspections, preventative maintenance and inspection. If I do that and then ask for the survey, which will cost $1,500, to see what it will cost to bring that up to speed, whether it's up to speed enough where I can go into the next contract or upgrade to the next contract. Verbally, he said I could do that, and the $1,500 would go toward the price. But I have not,
You wanna
I have
table
not
this to the
received it
next meeting?
in writing yet.
So should we just table it to the next meeting?
The other vendor gave us roughly a $4,500 inspection 4 times a year, complete inspection, preventative maintenance, grease the hinges, do whatever it takes to do that. And they also gave me a price for service calls. I don't have not in writing yet either, it's verbal.
Good. Thank you, John. So we'll just table that till
It's in
next
progress.
time. Good, thank you. We know the gates are a chronic issue and, we're working on it. Don, bank accounts?
Well, we need to, move some money, a bank account over for Aegis to start operating up and keep the, transition smooth.
Good, so make a motion for that, please.
I'd like to make a motion to move, operating 5 money market from One West Bank over to for Aegis to have access to.
To an account designated by Barbara. Okay. Barbara, you'll give that
Yeah,
information to
get
Ramona.
together and-
Yes,
Good.
David Berman will arrange.
Good, good. And what amount, Mr. Treasurer?
The whole bank account.
Okay.
It's 200, well, we don't have all the figures yet from September, or from October 31st, so whatever they are,
The entire balance of that
the
account
entire balance.
at the time of the
Yeah,
transfer.
they
I was
haven't come
gonna
out
say,
yet.
why don't you,
How many zeros?
how much,
The
Do you
full
have your
6-figure
financial?
account. It's roughly about 230,000 and some change.
One West Bank?
And it's operating 5 money market, One West Bank.
This is so
Okay,
Aegis,
so
this
if
is so
it's-
Aegis can start paying our bills when they take over.
Right.
Yes, gentlemen?
Just a quick question, do you guys have multiple signers required over certain dollar amounts?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
First motion I ever wrote.
Thank you for that. Fiduciary responsibility.
Yeah, did you ever shrink the operating account down, or are you guys basically gonna stroke a check out of the current operating account? Cause all the other accounts are either CDs or some sort of somewhat fluid vehicles, but if you still have $400,000 or $500,000 in the check
We
writing
moved
operating
money out of
account,
that
That's what-
2 months ago.
Okay.
So it's no longer over 5, it's
So-
like at 2 something as well.
So we could get more interest.
Yeah, no, I agree, that's what I was wondering, cause otherwise
Yeah,
just,
it's not up
just
there
create a
right
new
now.
account,
Hey, Don,
stroke a
what
check
happened-
from one
and what happened to
operating
the
account to the
checks
other.
outstanding? Does that account have any checks outstanding on it?
Well, that's why I keep that account open until all the checks clear, and then that one will get moved over to us.
Okay, so we're moving a virgin account. that doesn't-
Yeah, we're moving a Virgin account that there's no money going in, or going out, other than interest going in, and that's it.
Good, I second Don's motion.
Hang on, what
Hang-
do you wanna add?
from looking at this, I cannot tell if One West Bank is one of those accounts that is CDs, et cetera, that you will have penalties if you try to close. At the end of September, you had $317,834 in your operating account. Why don't you take $125,000 from there to open a new account?
I don't have an idea, I would have to ask, David Berman.
Well, $125,000 would
Certainly.
open the account and give you money
Okay, why don't we do
to
that
at least
then?
pay.
That's
You're right.
slightly more than our monthly expenses on average.
Right, well, I make a motion to withdraw my previous motion. And, we'll go with, Ramona's recommendation, and we'll move $125,000 from the check account at Bank United over for Aegis to have access and control to Fort Bank Company, Casey.
I second that motion. Good. Hey, Ramona, do we front load bills in the beginning of the year? That January is a higher outflow month than February, March? Or is it fairly plateaued?
No, fairly plateaued.
Okay, good. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, we talked about it. Parking came back on the survey. One of the highest issues that were non-amenities. Whether we go with alternate side of the street parking, no night parking like other communities have, no changes. Certainly we like to have no parking on the sidewalk and grass, which we get a lot of now. No blocking the sidewalk, so kids have to go into the street on their bikes and skateboards. We'd like the Building and Grounds Committee to start to look at some of that, okay? And of course, that will be part of the new survey that comes out as well. But parking from prior to our tenure as a board has come up so many times, and it's a safety issue. There's a community over by UCF where a fellow had a heart attack, and they couldn't get an ambulance in because the cars were too close to each other. We want to do everything that we can to maintain that. Tana Crossing is the name of that community. Okay.
It's happened in here a couple times before.
Yeah, so we really have to address parking, we've talked about for a long time, we like building and grounds recommendations. Well, and once you have your recommendations, we'll add that to the survey. Okay, thank you, John. Thank you, Jamie. Aegis Management, Barbara, do you wanna talk a little bit about your company and Chris and the transition?
Yeah, well, what I'd really like to say is that Chris and I are very, very excited to be working with your community. Aegis has suggested that we're on property every day between 1 and 4, to answer any questions and to introduce ourselves. And then December the 7th, we'll be starting full-time. A little bit of my background, I've been a property manager for about 12 years now, and I absolutely love it. I've driven around the community numerous times, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. I look forward to working with your committees and getting to know everybody and see what your needs and your wants and might be. I've already been working with the compliance committee, and these men are fantastic, absolutely fantastic, so.
I've often said you're a great judge of character.
I have some business cards up here, and if anybody wants one before I leave, and, anyway, y'all have more to say.
Good, Chris, we welcome you. Good, good. Good, you're gonna see, for those of you on committees, you're gonna see Barbara or Chris attend as many committee meetings as possible. There's gonna be a lot of participation. We're really excited about Aegis coming in. I wanna thank you for your work and all the efforts. It's that time of year that we need to talk about holiday Christmas lights.
We're gonna make a motion.
Thank you.
Alright, well, let's first make a motion to put the Christmas lights on the agenda.
Yes, thank you.
Anyone second it?
Second? Any discussion?
Wait, so when are they gonna be doing, we've approved now the cleaning of the signs and stuff, at what point are they gonna be cleaning? Are they gonna do it before the Christmas lights
That's
go
what
up? Do
she's
we
gonna
have-
arrange.
That's what I'm trying to get done.
She'll coordinate.
Clean the caps and the columns before the Christmas lights go up. Then they can do the sidewalks.
Alright,
Yeah, so she'll prioritize it. Her mom is sharp, she'll get it figured out.
alright.
Good, okay. Christmas lights are on the agenda.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, yes.
That's 4.
Alright, so we have 2 proposals?
Yep.
Yes. And jingle bell lights at Christmas decor.
Who did we use last year?
We used jingle bells for several years, it looks like, and
Hey, Don, what
I'm
did you
trying to
talk?
look at the proposals, and I'm trying to kind of,
Don, why don't you talk about what the cost is for this year? Yes, I'm sorry, John?
We own the stuff. You
Right.
bought it. Jingle Bells has it in storage. All you gotta do is pay to put it up and take it down.
yeah, and they want $8,000 to do that, and then take it down and restore it.
But the stuff we own, they have it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, this is basically, this is labor.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure you knew. We own the stuff, they got it.
But however, Don's done some work on this. What's our cost this year versus last year versus the previous year?
Ramona, they said it would be about 6,000, I'm not seeing that on there.
That's
Okay,
Christmas
jingle bell?
decor, that's not jingle bell.
This is 8,000. 8,000 and last
What did we
year was
spend last year?
7,100.
Last year, we spent over 8,000, year before that, before we came on, it was a little under 12,000. So it's come down each year,
From 12 to 8?
and it's still 8.
Well,
and then
the
second
one year we
year was
bought the
6,000.
stuff.
Right.
Okay.
So that's why that one year is an outlier, and then you have the labor every year to put it up, take it down. So is the other company quoting to go get the stuff from Jingle Bells and put it up?
And are they going to store it?
You have $11,906.27 you paid the first year. And then in 2014, you paid $71.53. And for 2015, it's $82.38. From the same vendor.
Jingle bells.
They did a nice job last year.
Yeah, and we added some stuff to it last year too.
Hey, Ramona, where's the other, I only have Jingle Bell.
Oh, here's the,
It's at the back of your, it's very back of your packet.
they want 72, and I'm assuming that that means they're gonna pick up the stored lights and put them up?
No, no, this is all their stuff. Pre-lit tree, garland, dormer windows, and you had 36-inch wreaths.
That's the only quoting installation cost. So I'm assuming from that they are going to pick up our already owned stuff and put it up.
John, when you bought the lights, what did you think was the useful, period of?
They budgeted 3 or 4 years.
3, 4 years, okay. So we probably have a couple of years left on that. Thank you.
Well, my recommendation is stay with Jingle Bells, they have the storage, they have the routine.
It says, it does say, price includes all items listed above as well as extension cords, fasteners, clips, other supplies needed to customize the decorations. In addition, Christmas decor will take down and store the decorations for you until you're ready to have them reinstalled next year. So you've used these people before, just not recently.
Hey, I know Jingle Bells did come out like on demand, there's a problem now.
So we can spend more time looking at the next one, but we're crunch time now. Let's stay with Jingle Bells. Okay.
I'll make a motion that we keep Jingle Bells.
I'll second. Good. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Jingle Bells it is. Good. Anything else for the agenda?
Yes, there is one down here. Yes, no. You skipped that. You skipped over the pool main drain rates that we need to have done with the insurance company.
Pool grates, put it up, we'll give them one.
You have $750 and $493.60, and I cannot tell you why there's a difference.
And this came from insurance?
This is one of the others, but they've been replaced already and they last longer than 5 years.
But they want to replace
Health
them.
department wants them replaced about every 5 years, so it's
So
time
John,
for them to be done.
Pool grates have to be replaced every 5 years?
Yeah, there's a law about that. I can't quote it chapter and verse, but yes.
Well, $750, I make a motion. Yeah.
You waive the pool company anyway. This is under $1,000.
Yeah, okay, well, this is within your spending parameters, so you can get that. We're using invoice now, right? So you decide. That's within your budget. Okay? Okay, we don't have to discuss it. Okay.
And there's one, back over to the compliance, all of these waivers are. We're going back to the violation and the late fee waivers that are in your packet.
Did we agree to the waive?
Yes,
Yes.
he's signing the waive for me. The violation, the fine waiver is for 10122 Park Ranch. What is it? Yes?
What is it they're doing, because they just did some stuff for ARB. So is the ARB app to correct whatever?
No, the ARB app was for the second violation that hadn't gotten to a fine stage yet.
Okay.
The one that did was palm tree trimming, but the owner is a pilot and so never gets this mail, so they didn't get, he has a property management company that didn't get notified by the tenant until she got the letter that said, oh, by the way, you have $1,000 fine. And that got their attention, so they've done the work, they've trimmed the palm tree, the painting of the house.
Yeah, those apps were just recently approved.
Yes.
That's why the app was 50 so quick, we just did those apps.
And it's already half painted.
Yeah.
That's how fast they wanted to get it done.
Yeah.
I recommend, I'll make a motion to waive it. And then we'll be fine.
Yeah.
it's by itself.
Yeah, just do it by account number, so we can tell. 0097. Okay, I second, John's motion. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Okay, now, you passed it, so go back to the front,
Okay.
there you go.
This one?
0621.
Got it.
Before we get into that, Alderman Moore, can I, you know, so that these don't fall in the crack again, do we know that a property management company is maintaining this for a lease tenant?
I
mean,
put them on.
We need to have that information, so the information goes to either the owner or the property management that's.
I've added it.
Maybe
I've added
For
the
this
name.
one, for this one, but do we have any others like that? They could
The only
fall into
one-
the crack again?
You only have the ones, we only have the information on the ones I've been told. As things like this come up, if we didn't have it, then I add.
Well, we do have a list of who's leasing, don't we? I mean, we have leased property, we know what the leased properties are, right?
Yes,
So shouldn't the violation go to the owner?
it does go to the owner.
Well, apparently in this one, it went to the tenant.
No, it goes to the owner and a copy goes to the tenant. Because sometimes the violation is, don't put your garbage out on the street on Tuesday when it doesn't get picked up till Thursday. Well, the tenant needs to address that.
So, David, do you want the owner to know too?
Yeah, I think the owner should know too.
So we.
They both go, every violation
go.
goes to an owner, and if the home is rented, goes to the tenant as well.
So then,
It should go to the management company.
If we don't know,
Or that's what, yeah. Wait, how do you know it's a leased home if you don't know who the
they
manager?
bring a copy of the lease,
Yeah,
but
so
we
say-
don't necessarily have
It'd be on the lease.
the name, but we don't, sometimes it's in the name of the owner
Lease is
and
with
the
the
tenant.
owner.
Okay, every
We
property
can-
I have, the management company sends them the lease. I don't send it to them. I never look at a lease on ours.
Oh, well,
I mean, why?
there are owners that
why
do
would
it
you do that?
themselves.
Why would you hire a management company if you're gonna do the lease yourself?
That's what I'm saying, there are people that don't use them.
okay, let's do, which one do you have now? 0621?
0621.
Okay, what's the recommendation? Waive $25?
Yes, that, she paid the rest of it.
Okay, what's the recommendation to waive the $25 late fee?
Free of the interest.
0621 is the account number.
Yeah.
If I got it. The account's up to date.
Yes, except for that amount.
And we waive it, First Service won't bill it to us?
No, that's not accurate anymore.
I make a motion to waive it.
Oh, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Which one do you want to do next?
0374. This is a new owner.
$7.50. I make a motion that we waive the $7.50 collection cost.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Who was the second? Was it?
King.
Okay, the next one's 0249.
This was quite a bit more.
No, well, and the reason is, this is the second home. He has paid, he even took the credit he had on the home he was living in and had it applied
Bless you.
to this account, God bless you. But he would like the board to consider waiving it. He did send an email. If you want to read it, it's attached.
He has two homes in North Shore?
And he's selling 10229.
Okay.
He's selling this one and closing on the 16th of November. This was a home that was in dire distress. It was needed to be painted, needed palm tree trimming, needed new lawn. And he did come in after he bought it and took care of all those things.
And what do you do?
Tell me he's making a big improvement.
Yeah.
Neighborhood and stuff.
He did do that.
Yeah, want to,
I'll make a motion to waive collection costs for 0249.
yep, I second it. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Okay. 0741.
I make a motion that we waive the collection costs for 0741. It's up to date. Any discussion? All in favor?
I second what you were saying.
You seconded it? Aye. John? Aye, okay.
Dumb question, why don't you guys authorize the manager to do this up to $25 or something like that?
Yeah, you know, we have in the past, some of these have been more.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We have a set of initiatives for sure. How many are in there? What?
You're getting ready to get about 4 more.
Okay,
0216. New owner.
What's the last one? One second, guys.
Where?
Didn't get the coupons. First thing, no, never got. First thing he got was a late number.
I'll make a motion.
Well, it's still 352, is there a check pending or something?
I'm sorry. Excuse me, can't hear you.
The balance is still $352. So we haven't brought it up to date.
May have already made a payment. I didn't print a new one. This is from last week.
Well, let's make a motion to waive it pending him being up to date, okay?
Go along with that.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you got the gist of that, right? Okay. So which one you wanna do next?
Next one is 0553. This one and the next one that you're gonna do. The owners made their payments when they were converted to an e-check to post to their account. Bank United does not allow an e-check unless the client, the owner, has given them permission for North Shore to be on their e-check list. So every time they made a payment and it was put through an e-check,
Yeah.
Bank United goes, nope,
I
and
make-
takes it back.
I make a motion that we waive it for 0553.
Is it up to date now?
Their
Predicate-
check was mailed for the maintenance fees missing through November 30th. They will make December's payment after the first of the month.
Okay. Second?
I'll second it.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
The next one is 0041, same thing. She banks with Bank United.
okay. Make a motion that we waive 0041, same item. Second, any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Who was the second one?
Mark?
And the last one is 0680.
$1,000.
No, 120.
Make a motion, Don?
You said that's the same problem that you checked? I wonder what's the deal with this one?
No, I didn't talk to him. The note on the bottom said that these were the 12061 were the maintenance, were the assessment fees or the collection costs and interest left over after he made the large payment. He asked if the board would consider waiving it, and Jeff told him to make that payment, and if the board approved it, then he'd have a credit. But he hasn't made it, it hasn't posted as of today.
you wanna make a motion pending his being up to date, okay?
Looks like this guy is late every month. From June to now, to November, well, to October, he's had a collection cost of $25 out of every month. Apparently he's late because, or somehow, you're not getting the money in the.
Their system takes 3-4 days for it to post, so he could get it in on the 29th or 30th, but it would show after, and then it triggers that letter. Like, has anyone talked to him about making sure he sends it up 2 days earlier because of the period it takes to show?
Okay. You can tell him we'll waive this one, but we won't waive any future ones.
And pending that check clearing.
When you make a transfer to Aegis of information, does all that files go to Aegis, so they know what the history is? In the minutes. But how about in the profile, and connect and all that? Does that stuff go over? That's our data, that's our information.
Well, I know, but I mean, it usually goes in a file, not a computer file.
You print this, it goes in the home file, so this all goes into a hard copy? Okay, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where these are gonna be, all these that you sign before you go home tonight, that's where they go.
Got it, okay. Do I have a second for that? And Ramona will talk to him about paying on time?
Yeah, I second the motion.
Good. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're going to the violation request.
You did that
We
right.
did that already.
So we've got nothing left on that, right?
You're done.
Okay. Good. Any other homeowner comments before we?
I just have a question. I go through the financials and I just had 2 questions. Do we have another attorney that we're dealing with? There was FedEx charges to an attorney Schmidt. Who is that?
Schmidt is the married maiden name of our attorney. She goes by both names.
Okay, so why are we FedExing something? Well, she went, her office is 3 miles down the road and we're FedExing stuff overnight.
Urgent documentation, and she has multiple offices.
My God, it'd be quicker to just give me time when they're over. The other one I had a question about is it's flowers to Jill Bayer.
I can speak to that one.
What's that?
My wife had, some very serious cancer surgery.
Okay.
Spent 2 weeks in the hospital. And I understand the board agreed to send her some flowers, which I
I'm very
greatly
sorry for your wife's illness, but
appreciate.
did everyone else's relatives get them from the board? My husband's been in the hospital for over 4 weeks.
Well, Mr. Bauer is a very valuable committee member, spending dozens of hours a year. And that's well
If
within,
you're gonna
that's
make
well
a
within, that's
precedent,
well within our discretion
If
as
you're
the board.
going to make a precedent, it has to go across the board.
I'll
That's
pay
called
for the flowers.
selective
You were
enforcement.
unaware of your husband's condition.
And nor is your husband a volunteer with the,
My husband has volunteered in this community for more years than you ever have.
but not on this current.
I'll pay for the flowers.
You do not have to pay for
in the
flowers.
future, if you're gonna do that, then if the board wants to send flowers from the board member, it should be amongst the 5 board members to pay for it. We did it previously as a
That's
board,
not
that's what we
something
did,
that the
that's what we paid
association money
for.
should be used for.
We never billed the HOA for it afterwards.
The amount of, yeah, the amount of fiscal responsibility from this board is second to none. Okay, thank you.
Motion adjourned.
Second?
No, I have another question.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
I'm really happy that you guys decided to do another survey, and I think the wording of the survey needs to be really clear and unbiased. And so I'm happy to help create that, whether it's through the Building and Grounds Committee or some other venue. So I'm just letting you know, I'm happy to help if I can help you. Whether it's through the committee or there's another survey you're putting together, I'm willing to help you with that.
Great, super, thank you.
The RFPs for the management company, how many were submitted, when, and when was it decided? Where was it discussed? Where are the minutes for it?
They'll get posted and,
No, I wanna know the date and time that it was discussed, and how many did you submit? How many RFPs came back? Was it just one?
no.
Was it 3?
4.
When was it discussed?
my God. Are you a judge and jury?
No, I wanna know. You
Maria,
paid
we're
for it.
gonna do diligence, that stuff will be in there.
But that can't be a closed meeting. That's not a
No, it cannot
personnel
be a
issue
closed
by
meeting.
law. That's not a personnel issue.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's a personnel issue.
No, it's
I
not.
called the state. It's
It's a
not.
personnel and legal issue.
No, it wasn't.
It is a legal
The
issue.
hiring of a new property management company needs to be open to all the members. And it wasn't. It was done behind closed doors.
We have a lawsuit against First Service Residential that.
That has nothing to do with
I'm sorry,
bringing
let
in
me
a new
speak,
company.
please. We have a lawsuit against First Service Residential,
Mhm.
which is known, anybody needs a copy of it, it's right here, and that prompted us to disengage from somebody that we're in a legal matter with.
Okay, previous boards have brought in 4 or 5 different management companies with First Service sitting
No, they
there.
haven't. I read the minutes, they brought in 3.
Well, they brought them in. They didn't do anything behind closed doors.
They didn't do anything behind closed doors? Are you serious?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Make a motion.
Motion adjourned.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Boy, that's good to adjourn the meeting, I'm not gonna do so bad.
Yeah.